Good afternoon. Welcome to the Line Travellers. I'm your boy Peacock, and with me again, as per usual, is my main man, number one in charge, Lixie boy. How are you, son?
I'm going fantastic for the technical issues we just experienced. But thank you for asking about how I am. How are you?
Unbelievable, man. There was a dude that stabbed two police officers in my neighbourhood this afternoon, and was gunned down. So that was pretty exciting.
That's just a normal day in paradise, eh? As usual.
Yeah, that's it, man. Straight out of the con-
Was there a reason for this man being shot at present?
Apparently, he stole some liquor, but man, in fairness, it is Good Friday and bottle shops aren't open. You know what I mean? Like,
I swear we were talking about that just before, like ram raiding a bottle shop. Or if there were people who can't get alcohol today, which you told people to do, which I didn't, but we're talking about ram raiding a bottle shop, and then a man apparently was shot because of stealing alcohol. So God bless the man up top.
It's almost like we can predict the future.
I've thought that before, actually. I'm not even joking.
On sport.
Yes. Any man on sport or heavily dosed sports could predict his own death, probably.
Well, man, the effects of psilocybin, man, are pretty fucking full on. Hey, like, man, you can hear shit from miles away.
Yeah, I could hear. Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, champion. But I could hear, man, like an actual conversation from my house. I believe it was further up the road. I haven't taken spores. This is just from an experience I made off my head. But they were talking about the football, man, screaming at each other, man, and I was like, fucking just shut the up, swear, as I do. Yeah, but I felt like you have like a superhero ability, which is hearing. Beautiful.
Man, if I was to have ever done psilocybin, I would probably completely agree. Everything may or may not have its own heartbeat, its own aura, and man, you can hear stuff from miles away. Don't you have an account of a kickboxer that microdoses shrooms?
Oh yeah, Mr. Rogan had a associate or a partner, who knows? But microdosed and mushrooms before a fight, which he could claim that he could see the kicks coming. Well, it was a kickboxer, I believe, and could counteract the moves. And I believe he lasted quite a while in the arena. And he was then drug tested and found out he was on PCP. So there you go. So it wasn't mushrooms.
Like run into a UFC competition, you're on PCP or Iceman. You'd be like the fucking T1000. You'd be like the Terminator.
Man, I reckon there should be a league devoted to some kind of like a blood sport, of course, devoted to people high on PCP. We see it in the streets, obviously, but more of a formal setting where we can control these people attacking each other. That'd be fucking funny.
In the mid-2000s, there was a thing, it wasn't called the Unregulated Olympics. I forget what it was called, but it was just a bunch of runners, swimmers, weightlifters, fucking shit like that. All of them on anabolic steroids. Like, they were like booting up fucking trend, man. And they all had a big, like, competition, hey.
Yeah, that'd be fucking sick. Why not? Like, if we have these products available, man, why don't we just inject them and see how far they can go? People will probably die, but that's entertainment these days, like. As you said, someone just died up the road from you. It was probably entertaining.
Man, I think there's worse things for you than anabolic steroids.
Name one. Name one.
Ooh. I don't know. Alcohol, tobacco.
Man, no, that's just a stereotype thing.
Oh, okay. No worries. So what do you got for me today? You done the research for the week? Anything weird going on?
Yeah, I had a look. I've decided I don't want to look at the news. They're just talking about Donald Trump, etc., whatever. I saw a video. I'm not sure if you come across this one. It was in Bonnie Doon, her favourite place of yours, in Melbourne, Victoria.
Bonnie Doon.
Yeah. So these people are on a lake. Have you seen this video? It's a recent activity, paranormal activity.
No, I haven't. I mean, to tell you the truth, I thought Bonnie Doon was a fake place due to that movie, The Castle. The Australian classic.
It's actually it exists, and I believe it's
a paranormal thing. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah. So I'll show you the video later, and I'll bring it up to the attention of the travellers out there who love stuff like this.
What the is that sound? You can hear that, right?
Yeah, what is it?
I've got no idea.
It is strange.
We're up at Bonnie Doon.
That's like it's coming from there. Like up on the hill.
Anything up there?
Can't see anything, but I can certainly hear that. It's aliens.
It almost sounds like a plane. There's no plane.
What the is that? That is weird. Oh, look, there's birds flying up there.
So this guy was just filming a lake, man, with like some other people camping around, and they could hear this like high frequency, like wallowing weird noise, man, throughout the sky, just going. "Ooh," like, I'll put up the sound, but it was fucking, it was weird. So I delved deep into it. Are you aware of the HAARP project?
Yes, I am.
So there was talk of obviously this could have been a HAARP project being utilised in Australia.
For people that don't really know the HAARP project, is that where they shoot up stuff into the stratosphere to change the electromagnetic pulse of it?
The ionosphere. So it's higher than.
Yes.
That's where people have been fact checked with these conspiracies. Because
Can you alert people where the HAARP base is?
there's actually one in Alaska, I believe. Is it? That's the
It is.
where
And it's top secret.
where there've been UAP shot down around it.
Yeah. So they think it was another HAARP thing, yes?
Well, it's been alluded to. It was fucking weird. Like I'll show like.
It's like all over the world, man. I'm sure you've probably seen them before, those trumpets from the sky. It's like a big ooh sound, and everyone thinks it's like the 5 trumpets of God signaling the apocalypse and stuff like that. But the thing is, like when people when they send their electromagnetic pulse up into the ionosphere, it makes fucking noise, man. It makes noise. So I would dare say it's probably not the 5 trumpets of God or the 7 trumpets of God. I'm not really well versed in scripture, but it's definitely like a man-made sort of experiment.
Yeah, well, that's probably possible because ionosphere is pretty high up, and they were trying to say, manipulate weather and shit. Like, if they're just shooting in the ionosphere, who knows? But they just say that they're obviously doing other stuff. Like, they're not going to tell us. Like,
Man,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely,
Like-
man. And realistically, man, we already manipulate weather. Remember how cloud seeding was it was trialled in sort of the 80s where they shoot silver nitrate up into the sky and it forms clouds and it rains down. China was doing it, was killing all their crops. But now even in Australia, they say they don't do cloud seeding, but they 100% do. And for all our viewers out there, if you want to know what cloud seeding looks like, you'll see almost a hashtag cloud. It'll be sort of the arse end of a plane. What's that shit that comes out of the end? What do they call that?
chemtrails.
Chemtrails,
Well,
yes.
That's what we
So
call
you'll
it.
see them going this way and then that way. And then apparently before, like I've seen footage, before the floods that happened, what was it, last year? We got 3 floods in a year, like
Yeah,
Lithgow and
massive.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Heaps of people claim to see cloud seeding clouds up there, hey?
Yeah, fucking oath. Like, they openly admit it in Saudi Arabia of cloud seeding. Like, so what, obviously, if they have the power to do that and technology, they're going to do it.
Man,
For
a lot of
whatever
people-
reasons, we don't know. Or do
Man,
it.
a lot of people think Hurricane Katrina was made by a weather-altering device to eliminate the black populace.
Jesus. Look, anything is plausible, especially in that era.
That
But-
absolutely.
I thought George W. Bush, the great man, blamed it on Al Qaeda or something. Was that true?
Did he?
Yes. I swear.
George Bush blamed Hurricane Katrina
Yes.
on Al Qaeda.
I'm pretty sure he did. I think maybe
And
it was in my head, but I believe he did.
was Bush in term at that point in time?
Yes, they hated him, man, because he said that he was openly shooting looters that were of other colors.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Bush is a pretty big unit. And as I say this, get this video.
All right, what
Now, watch this drive.
Yes.
We must stop the terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive. All right, you need another.
How good is that video?
Man,
How good is the video?
look, when you're playing golf, like, he obviously wants to shove his swing, a big man he is. and he's obviously loves killing terrorists. Well, not him personally, but he enjoys it. So
Yeah, well,
killing
man,
terrorists and golf.
have you seen like Baghdad and stuff before the Bush Wars? It was a fucking thriving metropolis.
Yeah, it was like a utopia, man. In that,
It was.
because Baghdad's an
Really-
old city. Like
Yes, it really was, and now it's just fucking dust on the ground.
beautiful, just the way they wanted it, I guess.
Absolutely. So, man, I've got a thing for you that I've been following pretty closely over the last couple of weeks. Apparently, because they've dug up this fucking diamond that was forged 660 miles down in the mantle, so fucking deep down, right?
Yeah.
And this diamond is so fucking special because it is inside of it is a material called ringwoodite. Ringwoodite is only forged in water. That's the only place you can fucking find it. And they said, well, why the fuck is ringwoodite that far down? And they found that many fucking like ringwoodite fucking crystals now. They're estimating, and this isn't like a hollow earth conspiracy theory thing, they think there is an ocean pretty much that circumnavigates the mantle of our like planet, hey?
What, like
An
literally
underground ocean heated by the core of the earth.
bubbling,
Untapped.
making these weird minerals.
Yep.
What?
Well, ringwoodite is usually found on the surface, usually when
Yeah.
volcanoes erupt and stuff like that, and pressure forms it usually in the water, which causes ringwoodite. So ringwoodite needs water to be formed. But now they're finding it so fucking deep down, they go, why the fuck is there water there? You know what I mean? And they think there's an ocean like between the mantle and the lower crust.
So it would be seawater, or are they alluding to fresh water, or like what do you reckon?
Here's the crazy thing about the ringwoodite crystals that they're bringing up. So water, as we know, can only be in sort of like three elements: gas, steam, water, and ice. This is a fourth element. It's like a semi-solid, and they don't know how the fuck it like is like that.
Jesus, that's fucking weird, man. Like what?
It's pretty cool, but
That's sick, man. I love it, like unearthing these things. They should send like a great movie to study this more. Is build that core machine or something.
oh, cool.
And you can volunteer, man, as the lead of the crew.
Man, I'm not going down to the center of the earth.
There's no
So,
apex
man,
predators under there.
so, man, speaking of, you reckon?
That's fucking
I don't know.
fine. Lizards.
Anywhere where there's fucking water, there's probably life. You know, like
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so it's Titan, a moon off fucking Neptune. Its core is completely fucking water. Can you imagine what it like evolved there over the millions of years?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd love to send a probe there. It'd be fucking sick.
Stuff that we couldn't even think about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do try and think of like what kind of creatures would exist on other planets, but because your mind always goes back to like dinosaurs or weird stuff like that, they could be so weird, man, that we can't even comprehend what they look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we sort of only comprehend carbon-based life forms that we sort of have seen before. You know what I mean? It could be a gas-based life form. It could be anything. It could be a liquid-based life form.
Exactly, like, or could be some like a light that can speak to you or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like some kind of. It doesn't have to go necessarily on our rules that we exist, as you said, like carbon life.
Anything is in the realm of possibility.
Jeez, it kind of fries my brain, man. I've fried my brain a few times, but it really makes me my sponge think and scares me.
Yeah.
But it's fucking sick.
It's good, man, to expand your brain on that and think about other stuff outside of work, seeing your mates, and just repeating the same cycle. Like, I think it's really good to think about stuff like that. It keeps your brain healthy. It keeps it thinking.
100%, man. It keeps you from having psychotic episodes after watching morning news or maths. You know.
Oh Jesus! Yes, the morning news, man. I quite watch it like coming off night shift, man.
Yeah.
You just seeing some certain bald old dude on 7 just talking at absolute fucking nonsense. Hey, it is fucking mind numbing.
It's so scripted, and the fake laughter and their care for things is absolutely disgusting. Don't you reckon?
Yeah, yes, it's fucking disgraceful.
God, man. Anyway, people eat it up. I don't know if they do eat it up or it's just a fake thing, which gets me to another thing is you've heard of the dead internet theory?
No, tell me.
Anyway, I've thought about this before. We used to be internet heads back when it first came out.
Yep.
They believe, I think it was 2016, they believe the internet was fully taken over by bots and other programs that most of the stuff you see now is just written by bots, and they're just we're just talking to each other. They are. There's hardly a lot of human interaction like it used to be.
Well, man, I'd probably believe that, because you look at message boards back in, say, when we were young, maybe like, I don't know, 2007 and stuff like that, and you get a lot of interaction on stuff like that, but it's definitely fucking changed, hey? It definitely has changed. There's also a theory with the compounded knowledge of what is in the internet. There is a self-aware AI bot living in the depths of it.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
shit, you know, hey, Google that shit.
Oh, we'll look at that, because just even thinking about it, what you just said, like, it's probably been, if it did form itself, it collecting information since whenever, and now you see all this rise of AI, Twitter being taken over by bots. There's been companies that have been found out that they were just making it look like they were famous, like just putting up views and stuff, and look at all these people.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
Yes, and you're right, like about forums back in the day where people used to like write up big shit, and
and that'd be dope.
Big cool shit, like
Yeah, pretty much the only sort of forum we have now is like, you know, Instagram and Facebook and that. And you just watch some stupid video and some Karen has a fucking 7-page paragraph thing about how it's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And you're like, why am I watching this?
Or
I know I'm taking a dump, but like I could be watching something far better.
Name one thing that you could be watching better on the toilet.
The morning show.
Koshi's bald head. Getting oiled up by his host. You're like, oh, God. Tell me more, Mr. Koshi. I had some other stuff, but anything else in your mind, or what's been going on? Tell me.
And not much, bro. Just did a week of night shift, man. So I'm a bit discombobulated at the moment.
Yes, it sounds like you smoked a pack of cigarettes, man.
Oh, man. I probably got COVID or something like that. Lucky I got vaccinated.
Oh, speaking of that, they were fact checked before, but aren't they putting mRNA? I think you've told about it in our food supply or something.
Yes. So mRNA vaccines. This actually happened a while ago. Like it started probably about 4 or 5 years ago. So it worked out better to put an mRNA vaccine in cattle feed because it was cheaper than giving. Because cattle need a lot of injections to keep like heartworm and like bacteria and shit away. So it worked out cheaper to get these mRNA vaccines just put into the feed, so it's directly put into our meat source, works its way up the food chain, and then we eat it. So, man,
Good God.
Yeah, it's absolutely like, and this is all like gene therapy stuff. So there's a very high chance that, you know, we could already have it in us, even if you didn't get the shot.
Yeah, like, what just happened?
Man,
wasn't that the government?
Wasn't that weird how the light just went out?
Man, I wasn't trying to notice anything, just kind of keep the show going. But then I was like looking at you, I'm like, what the fuck is happening, man? Do you reckon they're onto us?
What the fuck happened, man?
As soon as you start sprouting this information,
I'll see you in Valhalla.
Man.
That is weird.
Well, lucky we got a good lawyer. Does he still work for you?
Only when I need him. One moment, man. I'll just
freak me out a little bit. Yeah, just going back on, I had a look at the mRNA. I think the University of California, there was a grant given to them for like $500,000, which is nothing. And they want to, this is what they want to do. They reckon the future of the vaccines, which may look more like eating salad than getting a shot in the arm. So they are studying whether they can turn edible plants like lettuce into mRNA vaccine factories. Wonderful.
Well, man.
Even though we're already eating it, probably.
Yeah, as you know, plants, like most plants that we eat now, tomatoes, lettuce, cucumbers and stuff like that, are already genetically engineered to like get rid of pests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the claim it's for.
Well, I reckon they give us big traps, man, to be honest. Look at this. And I eat lettuce every now and then.
I need to eat more, man. I'm lacking in the traps game, eh?
Yeah, you definitely got a neck, man. You don't want any neck. Yeah, so how would the people defend themselves against this, well, if they want to defend themselves, against not eating meat, man, which I love? Kill my own?
Yeah, so especially if you live in a rural area, which a lot of people do, you just have to breed your own meat and like sort of eat off the land, grow your own stuff. That's probably the only way around it. People like you and I that live in cities, man, we're fucked. But I don't know. In saying that, it should be interesting times of things to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we could eat lizards or roadkill if we had to.
Well, they want us to eat crickets.
Fuck that, man. I could not eat that stuff. Like I've seen people eating it like a joke or something, but
They trialed it.
eat
Guess
the
what?
bugs.
I bet you can guess which state they trialed it at in Australia
Victoria?
for schools. Victoria. Baby. So yeah, they there's a cricket manufactured chip, and they put it into a lot of Victorian schools, especially in Melbourne, to
that shit.
help combat climate change.
Anyway, I feel sorry for the children growing up in Victoria and the parents there. Like most of them, maybe they feel that way, but I don't think all of them would.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I feel as though, especially if you did live in the woker state in the Southern Hemisphere, you would you'd almost be ostracized if you didn't sign up to their woke agenda. You know what I mean?
I'd honestly leave, man. Like I don't think any. Yeah,
A lot of people did during lockdown. Melbourne was the most lockdown city in the world, I believe.
even North Korea wasn't locked down, man. Apparently, when North Korea had this is probably a joke, had their first vaccine case, you know what happened to the guy?
What?
They shot him
Why?
because he had COVID.
Yeah.
So it was the first case in North Korea.
And they shot him.
Yes.
Yes, because that will stop a viral respiratory disease, a bullet to the head.
Yeah. Well, at least they weren't locked down as much as Victoria, I guess. It worked.
Well, it was pretty good how they changed the definition of COVID deaths from people who died of COVID to people that died from with COVID. So people that had stage 4 leukemia, if they got COVID and they died, they'd be like, yeah, it's the COVID that killed them.
Yeah,
But it's definitely not the cancer coursing through their veins.
Oh, man, when I die, who knows when, but I reckon even if it's 20 years' time, they'd say I died from COVID. I bet you. Because they'd probably look back at my repertoire and they'd be like, this cunt died from COVID.
Man, I think they're phasing it out now. Hey, I think global warming. No, what do they call it now? Climate change. Climate change is a new big agenda.
Yeah, global warming, climate change. Weren't they worried more about an ice age in the 70s? But like, what the fuck?
Yes.
So, what do you reckon the next 10 years is looking at? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Peacock?
Well,
Professor, I should say.
Well, Licksy boy, man, as you know, I'm a bit spun out and I monitor a lot of the normie news and ads and stuff like that. I've just been noticing that everything, like big tech companies, electric companies, water companies, they're doing everything by 2030. I thought it was extremely weird that all the CEOs of the giant phone organizations, I'm talking like Samsung, Nokia, Apple iPhone, stuff like that, all got together and they decided by 2030 the smartphone would be obsolete and it would be implanted into your body. All these companies work in direct competition. Don't you think it's weird that they all got together for a meeting to decide this?
Yes, I do find that quite odd, but not really. In saying that, like,
I wonder if boy Klaus has anything to do with it. Can you get a phone
yes.
call Klaus and his sick robes?
All hail General Klaus, man. He watched Star Wars, what's that one with the Emperor when he goes crazy at the Senate? Whatever his name is.
Revenge of the Sith, when he takes the Senate.
Yeah. He's like that guy, man. I wouldn't be surprised.
I am the Senate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that man can shoot electricity at people.
Man,
he's like, yeah.
A lot of people haven't seen that fucking drip, man. And when I show people,
really,
like, holy fuck, yeah,
man,
I thought it was fun.
It looks like he has like armored plate kind of thing, just weird, like it's like a grey silver kind of suit, man. It's probably made out of some rare exotic animal. Wouldn't be surprised.
So, man, I honestly believe that the WEF is an extremely corrupt organization, hell-bent on more money and more power, right? So if I was running an extremely corrupt organization hell-bent on money and power, I wouldn't fucking make this hectic-looking German dude in Sith robes the face of the fucking company. You know what I mean? Have you heard him speak?
Yes.
Everyone's he sounds evil. Wouldn't you just get a normal-looking Joe Blow dude in a tie? Not this dude with shit up here, man. He's shooting electricity out.
He's corrupting people, man. He's 100% a Sith. I think they've gotten away with so much, right? So now they're flouting it and they don't care.
No, they
don't. You reckon? Like before they were a secret organization, and now I think the elites, they want to be seen. Some don't, but this guy is 100% elite. The WEF are full of elites. Even Donald Trump went there and bagged the cunts out after they invited him.
Well, you got Billy Gates and you got King Charlie there too now.
Oh, man, imagine what sick things they get up to.
You
know what I mean?
Won't delve into that, otherwise the lights will go out again.
Yeah. It's probably a sign, man, to the fucking van sitting outside, man. Once those lights go out, man,
Yeah,
storm the
just, yeah,
building.
Flower van with a giant antenna, man, like pointing towards my gaff.
Well, luckily you got those claymores, man, ready to go. So that's a joke.
It.
He doesn't really, does he? I don't.
I do want that 3D printed one. It looks
That-
fucking cool.
That looks dope, man. As a man who's shot a claymore off, man, it is quite the powerful thing.
Was it hectic?
Yes, I felt I had a what do you call it? A stiffy from it.
Man, what's in it? Like
chub.
ball bearing, some shit.
Yeah, I think the face of it, where it says "face towards enemy," because
Enemy.
the Americans they actually turned around on the Americans, but yeah, ball bearings like probably about that's a evil sign, but
Just like
yeah, they just spray, man. And then I think in Vietnam, the Charlie would come. Am I allowed to say that? Anyway,
yeah. Well, that's what they called him.
that's what they would sneak up on because you'd set them out after you set up a position in like a defense. The Americans set it out at night, go to sleep. Then Charlie would turn around on them and start attacking them, and the Americans would set them off on themselves.
Jesus.
Because it's just a wire and it's a clicker. You're saying, yeah, you're getting one, which is pretty cool.
To my understanding, the US invaded Vietnam like a million miles away just to combat terrorism, yes?
It was just stop communism.
Like what was the strategic and financial advantage by going there?
Man, powers that we wouldn't have a clue of why. Like it was a disaster, but I believe on paper, not on paper, behind scenes, it was a success. Even though it looked terrible, and they lost. There was a false flag operation at the start.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to the people that are watching what a false flag operation is?
Well, usually a false flag. What's a famous one? I'm not going to say 9/11 was a false flag, but they would use a situation maybe like that to their advantage. So they might make it look a bit worse. They might strike other facilities or things to rile the populace up to make them go into something that would be unpopular if they didn't have that backing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a firm believer in like distraction, like tactics too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure I've said this in one of our prior episodes. It's like, do you remember how Miley Cyrus accidentally got her fucking tits out on stage at the MTV Awards, and that was all over the news. That happened the night of the US accidentally dumped X amount of fucking tons of nuclear waste in the ocean.
Yeah, God.
And that put it on. Man, what's going on in Ohio? Remember how that huge train explosion that poisoned fucking everything and everyone's getting real crook? They don't report on that anymore.
They don't. They were kind of like not over-reporting, but there was a firm uproar and then nothing. And they were saying there was acid rain. There was to get rid of it, they decided to burn it.
Yeah. And it made it even worse, man. And man, I'm sure you can get a picture up of this, but they talk about the minor explosion. Man, when you look at it, it looks like a fucking mushroom cloud.
Imagine living there, you're looking out like, oh yeah, we're just going to safely burn it.
Man, it killed everyone's livestock. It killed their cats. It killed their dogs. And they're like, it's just a minor explosion. It's fine. Man, they estimate the environmental damage of that fucking train crash is worth fucking Chernobyl, hey?
Fucking over would be like, and it's just buried because that's what they do.
It's also not the first time this has happened.
That's true.
It's happened 3 prior times from probably the 90s to now.
Yeah, they apparently have derailments all the time over there. Obviously, this was a larger extent, but
yeah, but they were also carrying a chemical. I forget what it was called.
Something chlorine or something kind of chlorine.
Chlorine phosphate, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
I will.
But chlorine phosphate is actually illegal to manufacture in the US. So why the fuck were they carrying it?
Man, some of the things, like Travis Bowie, buy the shirts, rep. Some things they just do. They just do it because they have the power and they don't give a fuck about us, and they get away with a lot of things. And why not?
I mean,
they're above the law.
This is why we do this podcast, because we quite often talk about this and have since, we were in our teenage years about all this fucking nonsense that's going on. But and I want a bit of like reaction from people to say, yes, I think this too. This is all fucking hectic. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it feels like you're just the only cunt that thinks this.
Yeah, we've said that before, and we're not. Like, people are afraid for some reason to go against the narrative because we're so used to watching TV and doing what's right. And a lot of people, I believe personally, don't want to look like that in front of their friends, even though maybe their friends or family think that. Maybe not their family, because they're usually, a bit of the baby boomer generation. But on saying that, they were raised in a weird time. And we've got a lot of access to information, but people just, are worried for some reason. But you shouldn't be.
A lot of people choose to ignore that information too.
Yes. Conspiracy. Whatever else.
Yeah,
Anti-whatever.
Yeah, anti.
Like,
man, you've seen that heaps good meme that just says, I support the current thing. And it's just like that blank, like, dude, and it's got all this shit like the LBGT, like BLM, like all this fucking shit behind it.
Probably the Ukraine flag or a mask, I assume.
Yeah, got some needles in
there.
there.
Those stickers, man, with the heaps of proud going, oh, fuck it.
Man, I'm going to Tasmania in 2 months.
Always wanted to go.
And man, I'm going down to Cradle Mountain. So Cradle Mountain is the skunk ape, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti capital of Tasmania, and I'm going to stay down there for 2 nights.
Make sure you take your camera, please.
Yeah, I'm going to take the GoPro, man, and see what we can get.
Strap it to your head. Is there any laws? Do you have to pass for any security when you go in Tasmania?
Well, as you know of my I don't think you do anymore. But
how are they going to scan you then if you don't have any nanobots in your body?
I just got the chip in my arm, man.
Oh, yeah, easy as, man. Huge scar on your arm. You're like, it's just it's still bleeding.
Yeah, I did this for others.
No, I've always wanted to go to Tasmania, and if you don't know it, that's a part of Australia. It's an island, but there's a lot of it's whole like bushland there, like cool forests and untouched wilderness.
Yeah, it looks fucking dope, eh? I also think we should do a fucking trip next weekend. The next weekend you're back in Newcastle. Man, we should do a trip to fucking Katoomba, hey?
Yes.
There's a dude down there called Rex Gilmore, and he is the head of the Australian UFO and Bigfoot Society, man. I've met him twice, and man, he's a fucking cool cunt, hey? And the shit he's got to show you is just fucking dope. Not too many people know about it.
I'll be keen, actually. Like, I can do the backload from where I work up to the Blue Mountains and meet you there or something. But definitely, let's check this guy out. And maybe we could get him on this or something. Or we could regale in his epic stories.
So, man, when you go down to his like gaff, man, he's got like plaster castings of like Bigfoot and stuff like that down there. He's got photos of all the lights in the skies that happen down there and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, the Katoomba around the Blue Mountains, like around mountains, it's got a different like magnetic polarity of like that's where like shit happens. That's where you see black there's Bigfoot, UFOs, stuff like that. But Katoomba is one of the biggest fucking hotspots in New South Wales. That and Dunedoo. Remember?
Man, those people definitely have seen things, and that's why they probably acted the way that they did towards you when you're trying to buy sausages.
It's full fucking locals only there. Hey?
Man, unwelcoming, like, and there, as you said, like sightings. Like if you look up the UFO map of Australia and the past sightings, fucking every dotted around there, man.
So a lot of people don't know this, but you can go onto Google and type in UFO sightings Australia, and it'll bring you up a Google Maps of all the dotted ones, I believe, from 1985 to now.
Yep.
And it's just fucking, especially Dunedoo and Katoomba, they're fucking littered, hey? They're littered.
Even on the outskirts of like the Hunter and Newcastle region, man, in the mountains we've got around here, or mountain hills. But it's disturbing.
Absolutely, man. I told you I was up at Eagleton, just sort of west of Paris, man, just on a bit of a fishing trip. And at nighttime, like there's a lot of planes flying over, but you do see a lot of weird shit that you can't really classify as a satellite, because satellites just go, when you see something going.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly. Like that's what I think the city folk which most people live in the cities, don't get to realize with the noise and light pollution, man. You got to go west, man, alone
do.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Fishing, doing whatever other activities you did, I won't say them, but getting one with nature.
Mushrooms.
Yes, magical little things, man, where you start seeing objects. Pretty cool. And you see demons. I'm not even joking.
I never opened the door, but I have heard that you can see entities and stuff like that with a rather large dose of psilocybin. Anything over 1.2 grams should really set you on the straight and narrow.
Really enlighten yourself. Do it in a good setting as well. I'm not condoning this or saying I have done it, but it is definitely a way I've heard of. I believe of seeing what else is out there that we can't physically see with our eyes and our brain can't handle without some kind of stimuli to the pineal gland, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. From a natural, is it a plant? Is it fungi, sorry.
Yes.
A spore it was created from the earth that we all apparently came from. That does something to your mind. I believe it reconnects with our lost, wherever it came from. It connects with that side of things, man. It is intense.
Man, I would honestly believe that too. And you look back into old Celtic tribes and the Vikings and stuff like that, they all did them too in certain ceremonies, man. And they were like pretty in touch with the land. Like, I don't know, if you were to ingest psilocybin, everything has a heartbeat, everything has an aura. You can just hear it for miles. I don't know. It's a really like eye-opening experience, and you might get a bit weirded out by the visuals. So I'm led to believe. But I don't know. It is a really eye-opening experience, and my mate personally felt the next day that he was absolutely fucking enlightened by it. Hey,
it does have that effect, I've heard. And going back to you raised a good point there with the Vikings and kind of tribes like that. They didn't have distractions like a phone scrolling, right? They didn't have all this other stuff. They didn't have all this technology or information we can get like that. So their experience would have been so much more amazing, I believe. And this is why they probably had what they thought their religions and they, when it went around, they were probably connecting to things that were there.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And imagine if you're in a huge group uncorrupted by like cell phones, Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that. You're out in the fucking woods, man, just living hand to mouth. And once a year, you just do a bunch of these fucking shrooms. And man, it would honestly be a fucking liberating experience, I think.
100%. And that's why they didn't worry about, well, things we worry about, obviously, but they encouraged, they weren't worried about death and stuff, you know?
No, they were too busy worrying about living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And enjoying themselves and killing people, hopefully.
Man, yeah, they killed a lot of people, especially the Celts.
God bless you, sir.
I mean, so man, do you know how the Roman Empire finally killed the king of the Celts?
Enlighten me.
So he was the last king standing, man. And the Roman Empire fucking came in, and overnight they built an 11-foot wall, like circumnavigated his fucking castle, hey, and they starved him out. Overnight they built that, hey.
Did they also? Is this the same thing, man? I'm talking about in Gaul as well.
Did they do it in Gaul?
Yeah, Julius Caesar. Well, didn't obviously the one they built there took overnight. This one took like I think months. They built. So the Gaulish people built a wall. So the Roman Empire built one around them and starved them.
Man, the Roman war machine was fucking hectic.
Yes, I probably wouldn't want to be in it, but at that time, I guess you had no choice.
It was the highest paying job at the time, man, if you weren't bought noble. You know what I mean?
And once you did your term, you were promised land and farm and probably a few wenches and God knows what else.
Yeah, fucking oath,
Spoils of war, man. Oh, God, that looks good, man. I really do wish I took your advice with going to the bottle shop.
I told you yesterday.
I'm seriously about to drink Mefo.
You said, oh, I won't care. Well, you can come to my place. I'll give you a largie.
I can't drive, man. Drank too much. You come here, bro. Bring it.
Yeah,
there's a spare bed, man. You can have my colleagues.
If it looks anything like that bed behind you, man, I don't know about that.
Hey, bro. This is seeing a lot of action. By action, I mean nothing. On the story of I've lost train of thought. But there was another UAP spotted, which was apparently a balloon, which doesn't look like a balloon. There was a Cessna, I think, flying pretty high, and I think it must have been more of a stationary UAP or an object suspended in space. So the cunts come back and filmed it. As he's past it, you could see it's like belly facing, which there's been talk of that's how they maneuver when they start maneuvering his belly up. So there's more coming out. I'm not sure what country it was shot in, but with the recent burying of the UFO or UAPs, excuse my language, but it was shot down in Northern America. What is going on as well with that?
I know. Can we
Fuck
have
you,
a
Joe Biden.
quick break for 2 secs?
Yes.
Back. Apologies for that. Sometimes after drinking 14 to 16 largies, you might need a quick toilet break. While I've got you here, man, too, I'd still like to spruik that we are still running the competition, that if you subscribe, leave a comment,
Yes.
you will win this shirt. Patterson Gimli on the back.
Show us more.
Line Travelers on the front. It's a great looking bit of kit, man. That's all you got to do. Subscribe, leave a comment. That's all you got to do. And we'll send it to you. I don't give a fuck where you are. We'll send it to you. And we'll even send you a couple of stickers.
Fucking I love those stickers, man. I've utilized them.
Yeah.
To goodwill. But that shirt is dope. Thanks for organising that. Can't wait to have my own. But they are in limited supply. But we are giving that one free for, as what Peacock said.
It's been
It takes you
going
2
for a while.
seconds.
It's been going for a while now. I mean, I saw, you know how we were talking about we tried to advertise this on TikTok, man?
Ugh, good.
The TikTok brain is just like so fucking with blinkers on. They watch one thing and they go, nah, next. So I watched a thing today where on Instagram an old mate was like and subscribe to my YouTube and I'll do this. And man, I did because I'm a fucking idiot.
Takes a second.
And all you got to do is go, boom, type a comment.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I really don't like TikTok, to be honest. Like,
No, it's fucking disgraceful, man.
I more enjoy like a long format. And in saying that, I have been addicted to TikTok. Obviously, a lot of people have, which with such like you can scroll and just random shit happens and you forget halfway you do it. So I can understand where people might forget, but it honestly doesn't take that much for winning a beautiful shirt of a famed beast.
You want me to show it again, man?
Yes, man, it feels like something stabbed in my head. Yes, that is horrifying. And it is a female Bigfoot. I've learnt from Peacock.
Female Bigfoot, you can see her tits because I had to enhance the image as it was done.
Enhance.
7.
Fuck yeah.
See, look at the titties there, man. Look at the titties there.
Man, can you stop that? It's kind of disturbing.
They're easy D cups, eh?
Oh, man, as a man with huge breasts, yes. Have you seen that cunt who got for a prank? I think
Off a bet. He lost a bet.
Oh, he lost a bet.
Yeah. Are you talking about that?
He had to get
dude in,
titties, man.
Yeah. And
In America.
Yes, I've seen. Get a photo of him up here.
Oh,
Obviously,
God.
Without his shirt on, because man, yeah, so
Pixelated.
he lost a bet in Las Vegas, and they were like, if you lose this bet, you have to get breast implants. He lost, and he's got, man, they're fucking huge. He's John Daly looking cunt, man.
Man, he was like feeling him. Like it's disturbing. He's going like that, and I was like,
did you see him put the flashlight under him and shit like that? It was fucking disgraceful, man.
Man, they must have some money, man, to like get fake breasts. But anyway, that is fucked up.
I would also like to take this time to thank our loyal 22 subscribers now. Thank you for hanging on and dealing with our shit. We have purchased a new camera, so when we're in the youngin room, shit's going to look fucking mint, and we won't be filling with the potato anymore. So stay with us. We're working on it. Thank you.
We're getting there. Yeah, thanks for your support, as Peacock alluded to. We'll have definitely some HD footage of our filthy bodies, which will look good. But yeah.
Sexual. Man, I'm going to stuff my traps too.
Please.
Man,
Please.
Well, man, chicks get to stuff their bra, man. Why can't I stuff my traps?
Man, I'm a soft stucker. Excuse me. I can't even say the word. A pants.
Sock stuffer.
Sock stuffer, as I was accused of that. As I bring up in an episode. Go watch that episode whatever 2. Yeah, I was accused of sock stuffing. It's not my fault if my I was inflamed in that region.
Yeah, well, that's
A
what
medical
happens.
condition. So
That's what happens, man. Always tarp up.
yes, or use foil. Yeah. Well, what else can I say? Yeah, we got the UAP. We know Blackrock runs the world in Vanguard, as we all know that.
We certainly do.
And man, did you ever hear of Blackrock before? I don't know, maybe not even a year, 6 months ago or whatever. Did they just come out of nowhere?
They've sort of been a shadow company for quite some time, and BlackRock and Vanguard own the vast majority of all the sites that you know, Amazon, Google, stuff like that.
Yeah, like they're like
Google this shit. You can Google this shit. Don't quote us. Google this shit. BlackRock, Vanguard, and see what 51% of like percentages of companies they actually own. It's pretty fucking full on.
Yeah, we're talking like $40-50 trillion valuation of this company, man. Like that is nuts. And yeah, they run countries, I assume, or the world, but probably the world. Yeah, they just started getting spoke about. You saw those riots in Paris of them taking over BlackRock headquarters.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they stormed BlackRock's headquarters in Paris or somewhere in France. I think last night they were taking over. So
You're fucking kidding me.
nah. So France is kicking off, man. You're obviously not hearing about it because they're not going to show you in the
Man,
narrative.
France is always kicking off. That's what I love about the French. When they don't like something, the people band together and then just go, no, fuck this, we're having none of it.
The best is like, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
At the end of the day, the people outnumber the fucking government fucking thousands to one.
Exactly. And some other countries need to actually adopt that kind of thought process of we're the majority. We pay the most tax, literally.
Absolutely, man. Like people fear the government, but the government should fear us. And when you go back to the Roman Empire and you talk about democracy and stuff like that, it was voted by the people for the people. And over the course of fucking centuries, democracy lost its way. It absolutely lost its way.
Exactly right. They did invent democracy, but as you said, it was being corrupted, and now democracy is our fucking value. No, it's not. America is not a democracy anymore. Those countries are not a democracy.
It's not a democratic state.
It's
absolutely
divided evenly, and then they want the hard right, the hard left people to tear each other apart, and you have to pick a side. Why do you have to pick a side?
Because they do it all the time because it I don't know, distinguishes your view on what the government's actually doing. Instead, you're like, oh, fuck this cunt. He doesn't believe what I believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as you said, tearing each other apart.
Yeah, and that's what they want. They love it. They love it.
The new squadron going to the moon.
Yeah, the new squadron. Yeah, they have a photo. I thought it was AI at first, but it's not. It looked like it was an AI image. There's a lovely free gentleman and a lovely biological female. I believe she's biological female. Starting the new Artemis 1 mission. Their goal is to... I don't think they're landing on the moon in this mission, but I think they're going around it in some weird ship.
Yeah.
And they're going to build bases on there, even though we know already who has bases on there. And to research and to propel them to Mars. And
how far is Mars away from the moon? 3 years, I believe.
I think Elon Musk, the alien, said it could take 6 months when you line it up with the Mars as it rotates every 2 years. Yeah.
No.
Rotate, because we're living on a globe, I've been told. And when we rotate around the moon, so that's why you always see the same face of the moon.
We do not rotate around the moon.
The moon does not rotate around us.
It does, though.
But it's got the same face.
Yeah, because...
Wouldn't that mean we're rotating around, not around it, but it's there?
Yes, because it doesn't have an atmosphere, so it doesn't fucking spin, but it still is pulled into a gravitational fucking orbit. That's why it rotates around us.
Sorry, Professor. I didn't learn that much in school. Did we have a space school? We went to highly...
we did science class, I think.
But did they talk about space? I know they didn't. They didn't really like talking about evolution.
Bro, we were never there. This is why we're doing this now.
The food stamps not working out or settling. But Yeah, so they're going there and they like to harp on about the economic reasons they're going there. Like what?
Oh, what for?
The Artemis mission.
Shit like that?
I reckon there's some weird shit on there they're gonna mine, eh?
I wouldn't be surprised if they've been mining it for fucking quite some time, hey. Speaking of like space exploration, there was a photo that came out it was fucking a while ago, but it was like the rover on Mars, and you know how they've got the big pod that comes down, it's got like iridescent shit around it.
Yeah.
So the rover took a photo of the fucking pod that it came down in, and in the reflection of the iridescent thing, there's like a being behind it.
Ugh, really?
Yeah,
Is this
yeah,
so? This is
I know.
obviously we can find this image for the.
You know what? After we do this, I'll fucking text it to you. And fucking put it up there, man. It's creepy as fuck.
Oh god, that disturbs you, man. That poor robot. Imagine the things it's seen. Or they're not showing us, obviously. Like the. Oh yeah, like I watched Dr. Stevens' UFO Endgame. It's kind of rehashes on a lot of stuff, but if you're new to Dr. Steven, you haven't heard about him. It's Dr. Stephen Greer, sorry. He apparently Trap Daddy. He apparently talks about black projects in with Washington and stuff, and I think he's an expert on it, discusses it to the Senate or whoever. But yeah, so just it rehashes on it. It's good. It's good. I'd recommend watching it. It's just good to see him, you know.
Man, I love that guy. Man.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Man, I'm surprised he hasn't been fucking assassinated yet. You know what I mean? Like the amount of shit he knows and the amount of clearance he used to have, the amount of US presidents he's spoken to. But he also talks about how his phone calls are often monitored, his emails are perpetually monitored. Like, and they even asked him in his first documentary, "Are you scared about like being whacked?" And he's like, "I don't care anymore." He's like, "I'm not living my life in fear."
That's he raises that point once again in UFO Endgame. He's you know, he says like he comes home and they've moved things around just to know that, you know, we're here.
Yeah.
And he also he has an unhinged moment. He's like, I'm not afraid of, like you're saying, of them getting me because it'll be worse off for them when I'm dead because the information I hold, aka he has a dead man switch.
Yeah, good man.
You always got to have one.
I think at that sort of level, man, you need a dead man switch. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, well, if I don't contact this person every fucking 6 hours, all this stuff gets leaked to the press, man. People do this shit. That's what keeps them alive.
Fucking oath. And blackmail as well. But would you have a dead man switch at the moment? I'm not aware of.
Not at the moment, but I believe if I had fucking information of some sort of political party or leader, I would definitely keep that as my dead man switch.
Fucking oath. Fucking oath.
Yeah. Well, man, I think that's about fucking all I've got for today.
Yep. First, you,
What are
mate.
you doing?
I have to got a few more beers in you, or what?
Yeah, I've got a few more beers, bro.
I'm gonna seeing it's the day Jesus died. Was it?
Is today the... Yeah, and I think he resurrected on Sunday.
So I'm gonna use this soap, man, to wash my testicles with. So Jesus will be down there, washing away those sins, man. Is that illegal to do on today?
No, it's just Christianity. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Keep-
What are they gonna? Yeah, exactly, man. You must.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I got a coin here. I like to show the audience.
What is that?
Mess with the best die like the rest, man. You know that hell flag you had?
Yeah,
Do you have that
can.
still?
Yeah, no, I think my mum threw that out.
She burned it. But yeah. Enjoyed this new format. I know you're severely what do you got? Not much sleep.
No, fuck all.
Been on the pip all night, so get yourself some rest, get yourself some long necks, and make sure you praise Jesus.
All right, bro. Stay sweaty.
Stay sweet. Look at the skies.